Few weeks back I made a video to show you all the best budget smartphones below 700 ringgit. Since I got a good response from you guys, I have decided to continue by listing down the best gaming smartphone that you can get below 1000 ringgit in Malaysia. Most of us love playing games in our smartphones, and we all know that smartphone companies has been developing gaming smartphones for the past few years. I'm not referring to Nubia, Razer, Asus ROG, Lenovo Legion or Black Shark. Those gaming smartphones are high-end devices. They were made for those who expect flagship specs on a gaming smartphone. But here I'm focusing on gaming smartphones that are made just to prioritize gaming performance to deliver satisfying gaming experience for us. The price range is usually around 700 to 1000 ringgit. Anything below 700 ringgit cannot be considered as a gaming smartphone because they are not the best choice to use it for gaming purpose. But before we move on, please subscribe to help me grow this channel so that I can make more videos to keep you guys updated. And I'm targeting to achieve at least 100 subscribers for this video. So go down and click the subscribe button, and in order to get notified, don't forget to hit the notification bell icon. So the first smartphone in my list will be Poco X3 Pro 5G. It comes with IPS LCD display instead of AMOLED, but it still has 120Hz refresh rate. It's a good looking display with a resolution of 1080 by 2400 pixels that has 20 by 9 aspect ratio. I will recommend this device for gamers because it runs on Qualcomm Snapdragon 860 chipset, and that makes it almost as good as any flagship processor. You can only notice small differences in terms of graphical performance. When it comes to budget gaming smartphones like Poco X3 Pro 5G, you shouldn't expect a lot in other features, especially for the cameras. It comes with quad camera setup with 48 megapixel wide-angle lens as its main camera, 8 megapixel ultra-wide-angle lens, 2 megapixel macro lens and 2 megapixel depth sensor. If you are buying this phone for the camera, bear in mind that the both macro lens and depth sensor is not that useful, but the 48 megapixel can take some good pictures, and same goes to the 8 megapixel ultra-wide-angle lens. At the front of the device, you will get 20 megapixel selfie camera, and that's not bad for the price. The rear camera can shoot 4K video at 30 fps and also 1080p video at 30 or 60 fps, but the selfie camera can only record 1080p video at 30 fps. This device comes with stereo speakers, and guess what, you are getting 3.5mm earphone jack. That is a must for gamers, and Poco knows that very well. Another great thing about this device is the 5160 mAh battery and 33 watt fast charger which is included in the box. To unlock this device, you will get side mounted fingerprint sensor. Poco X3 Pro 5G comes in two variants in Malaysia. The first variant is 6GB of RAM with 128GB of storage, priced at 949 ringgit. The second variant is 8GB of RAM with 256GB of storage, priced at 1199 ringgit. So you can go for the first variant if you are looking for something below 1000 ringgit. The second gaming smartphone is Infinix Zero X Neo. Not many of you are aware of this brand in Malaysia because they still don't have their official store anywhere in our country. So for that, I really have to create an awareness for this underrated brand. This device comes with IPS LCD display. It has 120Hz refresh rate with the resolution of 1080 by 2460 pixels. Since it's a good device for gaming, it runs on MediaTek Helio G95 Ultra gaming processor. Not a processor that can compete with Snapdragon 860, but it can still perform very well for the price. As for the cameras, it's a bit interesting. You will get triple camera setup with 48 megapixel wide angle lens that has super night feature, 8 megapixel periscope telephoto lens, also known as 60x periscope moonshot camera, and 2 megapixel black and white lens. So they excluded ultra wide angle lens to reduce the price, and at the front you will get 16 megapixel selfie camera. The rear camera can record 4K video at 30 fps and 1080p video at 30 fps. The front camera can only record 1080p video at 30 fps. So no option for 60 fps on either side. Although this phone comes with dual speaker, you won't get stereo speakers, but you will get 3.5mm earphone jack as usual. And this phone comes with 5000 mAh battery with only 18 watt fast charger which is included in the box, and you can unlock this phone with side mounted fingerprint sensor. Infinix Zero X Neo is available in Lazada or Shopee for 8GB of RAM with 128GB of storage just for 879 ringgit. Alright, the third gaming smartphone will be Poco M4 Pro 5G. This is a newly released gaming smartphone from Poco to replace Poco M3 Pro 5G. It still comes with IPS LCD display with 90Hz refresh rate with resolution of 1080 by 2400 pixels. It runs on MediaTek Dimensity 810 chipset. This is definitely a new processor to boost the gaming performance for this device. If you look at the cameras, Poco has made a smart move. We are getting a 50 megapixel wide-angle lens and 8 megapixel ultra wide-angle lens. That's it. They ignored macro and depth sensor, and at the front we are getting 16 megapixel selfie camera. But unfortunately you will only be able to record 1080p at 30 or 60 fps from the rear camera and record 1080p at 30 fps with the front camera. So no 4K video recording options. One of my favorite thing that I love about this phone is the stereo speaker inclusion. And for sure 3.5mm earphone jack is available with side mounted fingerprint sensor. This phone comes with 5000 mAh battery with 33W fast charger that comes in the box. Poco M4 Pro 5G comes in two variants. One of them has 4GB of RAM with 64GB of storage that costs just 849 ringgit, and another one has 6GB of RAM with 128GB of storage that costs 999 ringgit. You can buy either one of these based on what you prefer. So these are the gaming smartphones that you can buy during the end of this year, but you can still wait for next year for some new gaming smartphones if you have a lot of patience. If you like this video, don't forget to give a thumbs up and leave a comment below on what you think about gaming smartphones. Thank you for watching and see you in my next video.